Welcome to the Guaranteed Irish Business Podcast, where each week we're joined by leaders of Guaranteed Irish member businesses to chat about how they sustain jobs, communities and provenance. Supported by FBD Insurance, Ireland's largest homegrown insurer. Support, it's what we do.
Hello and welcome to the Guaranteed Irish Business Podcast. My name is Bríd O'Connell and joining me today is Stephen Power, Sales Manager with Southern Tapes and Packaging, to discuss their green range of sustainable packaging and introducing a 32-hour working week for their staff. I would say everybody's delighted with that, Stephen.
I'm very happy.
You're very welcome to us today. So STP Packaging.ie is the website and you're based, of course, in Forgehill in the lovely Cork. And I want to talk to you all about the history of STP. It stands for Southern Tape Packaging, isn't it?
Southern Tapes and Packaging, yeah, that's where the company started. So I suppose we were established in 1984, I believe, and at the start we were kind of just selling some odd bits of packaging kind of to local distributors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We then kind of made a business decision to move towards something that would set us apart from the competition, so we moved into printing on self-adhesive tapes.
Right.
That kind of set us up, and that's where the kind of the tape side of it comes into it. We
Okay,
specialise
so
in,
if you're wrapping a present or sending goods or very heavy FMCG goods or food goods or whatever, you've your printed tape option to go on your product, and it also promotes your business as well.
Exactly, yeah, it's a great way of getting branding out there for your business.
It is actually,
it's
yeah,
a
I
very
have to say.
cost-effective way of doing it.
Great. So then you went from there to what stage are you at in the business now, and how many have you employed?
So we've just over 30 employed at the minute.
Brilliant.
And I suppose we have two divisions to the business. We have Southern Tapes and Packaging and Down to Earth Materials. So I suppose when we look at the sustainability side of it, our leader in that was Down to Earth Materials, where they looked into compostable food packaging, and we're one of the leaders in the country on the compostable food packaging. But we're kind of moving towards the more sustainable routes now with Southern Tapes. Okay. So we're looking into paper products, recycled content pallet wraps, paper tapes, kind of.
It's amazing how sustainability has forced us all to change how we do our business, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. But there's some benefits to it as well, isn't it? You know, there are some easy solutions to it. Like one product that comes to mind is our eco loose fill. So, you know, styrofoam packaging peanuts that you would get, and like styrofoam is the worst thing on the planet for sustainability.
Yeah.
But the options that we provide are fully compostable. They're made of cornstarch and they're water soluble. So you can literally put them in a bath of water and they're gone.
And are your competitors doing that? Or are you standing out from doing, because you're one of the only people who are doing that?
No, there's definitely competitors doing it, but it is something that we're very
stealing
proud
march on.
Yeah, we're very proud of it, kind of running forward with it. Now, we do compare that with other products that we have there. So we do have some of our own branded products like Hexi Wrap and our STP paper box. With those, they're just paper versions of alternatives for like things like bubble wrap or anything to fill void.
So I'm imagining then COVID and people buying from home and buying from the comfort of their home, and e-commerce solutions must have put you in really full speed ahead in sales during COVID.
Yeah, 100%. That's kind of where a lot of these alternatives are really like making a stamp, is in the e-commerce platform, because a lot of smaller businesses that don't want big rolls of bubble wrap sitting there and they want to keep a focus on sustainability can use these products. They take up less foot space, and because they're from a sustainable paper source.
Well, you sound like a perfect match for the members of Guaranteed Irish who are on guaranteedirishgifts.ie in the lead up to, I'm afraid to say, Christmas. But the ideal thing is that they're not alone are they producing, and so many of them are so conscious of having a sustainable product. It's really nice if they can complement it with sustainable packaging in the delivery.
Exactly,
so that it's delivered in good shape as well. It's a brilliant alternative.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Well done to get ahead on that. In terms of the printed tape, I'm really interested in this. It's a really simple way for cost effective and small businesses especially to be cost effective in getting their brand out there, be it through e-commerce or just delivery of products. How has that evolved over the years? Because tape is around for a long time.
Tape is around for a long time, but I suppose we've kind of moved with the times with the different types of tape that are available. So generally most packing tapes are either a PVC base or a polypropylene base. What we've kind of moved to now is more self-adhesive paper and kind of an old technology with gummed paper tape.
Right.
Now, with that, I suppose it's a very simple way of branding your product. It is very cost effective, and like from orders that can be as low as 36 rolls, it's not a whole lot of tape to be getting in, but it's very usable. Yeah. And then with the eco versions of the tapes that are available there now, you can keep that sustainability within your product while having your branding on it as well. And
how do customers order that type of tape, and do you have to order large numbers, large volumes? So to order it, all they have to do is contact us on our, they can come through the website, or they can phone us up on our business phone number, or
just send us an email.
And volumes then, Stephen?
Very small volumes, like we can go from as small as 36 rolls. It's a very kind of
perfect.
Small
Okay.
line.
Well, that's good to know for the smaller operator as well as the larger guys as well. And I suppose you're selling to the likes of the big corporates, the pharmaceuticals, the tech companies, the construction companies as well.
Exactly. Yeah. No, we cover all sides of it, from small business to large business.
Okay, so I'm really intrigued. At the top of the conversation and the introduction, you were really keen that I'd introduce STP Packaging as a 32-hour work week for your staff. That is unique. Yeah. So tell us why you've done it and the benefits you've seen from it, or any.
Yeah. So I suppose it was always something we were kind of looking at within the company, is how can we kind of give a bit of time back to the workforce and see how we can kind of enrich their lives a small bit, because that's one of the main parts of the business that we're always looking out for the staff.
And of course, the business is very family oriented, isn't it?
Exactly,
quite a lot of family members, extended family.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And I suppose like even people that are not direct family within the business treated like they're part of the family, because like everyone's looked after and cared for as if they were part of the family anyway.
That's fantastic. So maybe give the listeners a view of the makeup of the company. So it started with, we'll say, the granddad now.
Yeah. So it started with Tony Lee.
Yeah.
So he has been running the business since 1984. Ashley Lee, his daughter, is now managing director of the business. Her husband is Olin Hodnett, is part of the head of the marketing team. Yeah. Peter Sinnott then, who will be part of the family as well, as head of machinery, and then there's a host
quite a lot of family members. I remember discussing it with them, thinking, God, how do you manage that? So it's really interesting. They've treated all the staff, whether you are in family, as family.
Exactly, yeah.
And you've introduced the 32-hour week. So tell me about that. I'm really interested in it.
Yeah, so basically it's a 32-hour week. So we were looking at the 4-day week model, but it wouldn't really work for our business. So what we looked at was 32 hours over 5 days. So how that works, if we take a 3-person division, for example, someone will start at 8, finish at 2:30, someone will start at 9, finish at 3:30, and someone will start at 10 and finish at 4:30, where we operate from 8 to 4:30. With that then, all the hours are covered, and I suppose when we were trialling initially, we were saying that we want, I think it was the 100 was the model we based it off. So it's 100% of the productivity, 80% of the hours for 100% pay, and just to see how that model would work.
And how long is that in operation now, Stephen?
I say it's a little over a year now at this point. So we have a fairly extended trial on it at the moment. But it seems to be working perfectly. It's like we're not down productivity. Yeah. If anything, we probably increase slightly.
And do you think the team or the family have really given it more gusto when they're there to make it work?
Yeah, so I suppose everyone bought into it as a concept. So Ashley and Tony were very forward with bringing the concept to us and seeing how we can make it work, and we did kind of jump on board and say,
so did the idea come from the top down or from the staff up?
It kind of came from the top down, to be fair.
Okay, great.
Yeah, because as I said, it was always a concept that was floating around the business, and it was kind of put forward to us. Do we want to buy into it? Yeah. We definitely did. So we said we'd give it a go and make it work. So
it'd be crazy not to, really, wouldn't it?
Exactly, yeah. I think a lot of people have given extra time where it's needed, if it's needed, but we try to stick to the 32 hours, and that's that's how we make it work. If someone needs to give a little bit extra on a certain day,
go the extra mile.
We just do it. There's no kind of questions about it, or no one's watching the
clock.
I
suppose if the owner and the owner's team have committed to the workers and the employees and the team, the only way it can work is if the team step up when needed, without being asked. Actually, is the key, isn't it?
Exactly, and that's
to know it, to be grown up about it.
That's one of the best parts about our team, as well as we're very willing to jump on board whenever we need to. It's always been something that's kind of in the company, is everyone gets stuck in. And
I'm intrigued. Does that ownership of those responsibilities come from the team? So they say, look, there's no way I'm going to get this done, and I'm supposed to go home at 3:00 today, so I'm just going to finish that off and get it over the line. So does that come from the person on the ground, or have they to be asked by the management?
It comes from the person on the ground.
Great.
If someone needs to put in an extra half an hour or an hour here
or
there,
so what? It means they maintain that 32-hour work-life balance. Yeah. It's fantastic, isn't it? It's really nice when it works.
No, it's brilliant.
And is there any issues where some people do more than others, and there's a resentment growing then?
Oh, absolutely not. I think it's the case that everyone within their roles pulls their weight equally. There's no one doing more work than anyone else or anything like that.
Great. It's good to see it.
Yeah, no, we get stuck in.
It's a nice model. And I'm interested about the company culture then, obviously, because that's very much part of that, in terms of being a family business and so many people involved in the family. And I have to clarify this now, you're not in the family.
I'm not, no.
Okay, so this is a really good, clear run of this for people listening. So as a family business, and they seem very together in harmony. I'm sure they have their ups and downs, but they're very progressive, young, dynamic company in generation two. How do they stay innovative, and how do the people stay motivated within that? When you see so many family, it's very hard often to see, well, is there ever going to be room for me at the top in the leadership role?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think it's necessarily a case that anyone's looking to climb to the top and stuff like that. Again, we all work as a family, so no one's trying to get to the top of the pecking order or anything like that. It's just a case that like we're all there, we're working as a team, and it's a family unit moving together through the minefield that can be the industry sometimes.
Business, yeah. Okay, well, I really like that attitude. That's brilliant. So in terms of the business then, what was it like coming out of COVID and getting back on the road for the likes of the guys in sales and even you guys in marketing? How demanding and difficult was that facing your customer again as opposed to online trading? Yeah,
I suppose it was there was a bit of a change to that kind of like on the phone, emails kind of way of doing business. But I suppose we've seen over the last while that kind of getting back out on the road and meeting customers is really kind of beneficial.
Isn't it?
It just puts that face to a name that you don't really get over the phone and just gives that a little bit of personability, I suppose.
Yeah. And the interaction and the little bits of nuggets you find out from the customers when you're chatting to them over a cup of coffee is great.
Exactly.
Because you realise, my God, we could really pull our socks, or there's an opportunity for us there.
Yeah.
Or there's little tweaks, isn't there?
Yeah, you might see something that you thought, oh, I didn't know you did that, or something along those lines.
So you're sponsoring our retail category for the upcoming Guaranteed Irish Business Awards in March 2024, which is very generous of STP Packaging, and obviously connecting with the members that way. Tell us what it means to support other businesses from the STP Packaging point of view.
I suppose it's kind of crucial for what we do, isn't it? You know, if other businesses didn't support us when we were starting off, or even now, then we wouldn't be where we're at. So this is kind of an opportunity for us to support businesses where we can.
And of course, there's a whole ecosystem there for you guys to trade with each other, really.
Exactly, yeah. Like, you know, there is that kind of networking side of it as well, where, you know, we'll probably meet people we haven't spoken to before, and there may be things that we can do to help someone else or something like that. But there's also, I suppose, it's just that kind of giving back to the companies that kind of like helped us.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really like your attitude down there in STP Packaging. Good guys, really nice crowd. Southern Tapes and Packaging, known as STP Packaging. Have a look out for it. If you're sending business or parcels or gifting coming up to the Christmas season, birthday gifting, or indeed corporate gifting, more importantly, if you're pharmaceuticals, if you're large scale construction and you need packaging and in a sustainable manner, consider Southern Tapes and Packaging, a great Guaranteed Irish business. We're in business for quite a long time now and doing the right thing and loving your innovation, I have to say, in terms of those work hours. Thank you very much, Stephen Power, Sales Manager with the STP Packaging, for joining us today on the Guaranteed Irish Business Podcast.
Cool. Thanks very much for having us.
If you want to learn more about Southern Tapes and Packaging, we will leave a link to their website in our show notes. And thank you as always for listening. Don't forget to hit subscribe whatever platform you are listening to, so you can hear more of the same. And for the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day.
The Guaranteed Irish Business Podcast, sponsored by FBD Insurance, Ireland's largest homegrown insurer. Support. It's what we do.